Semana GDC en Malditos Nerds.
Hi, I'm with Dave Gilbert. No relation to Ron, like he said on the Twitter account. You always told you have no relation with Ron. No relation with Ron. He's making the new type of adventure games that we like to play. We love Unavowed, and you're nominated tonight for Best Narrative.
Yes, I am.
It's the first time.
First time being nominated, yeah.
Unavowed was our favorite adventure game of the last year, and and it's on the top 10 of the best games of the year. In Malditos game or site. Is for us it's like a new type of adventure game. I noticed the love that you have for New York City in the game. It's in all the chapters of the game is very implicit. Mm-hmm. But you made a game. Where did you get the idea of get a party in the game, and you can do all the missions with all the characters and all the mix of the characters? It's a really cool idea.
Oh, thank you very much. It was inspired by an interview that a former BioWare writer gave. Her name is Jennifer Hepler. She was a BioWare writer, as I said. Did I mention I'm a little tired and frazzled today? Apologies. She said that she wanted to, how often in combat-oriented games, you're allowed to skip the narrative to get back to the combat. She wanted to do the opposite. She wanted to skip the combat to get back to the narrative. And I thought that was a wonderful idea. That sounded like the point-and-click adventure game of my dreams, because as a BioWare fan, I love Dragon Age and Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm a huge fan of those. But the combat's my least favorite part. I want to get past the combat to get back to the party banter and the companion discussions and all that stuff. So I figured, wow, this is a great idea. Someone should make this game.
And you made it.
And well, no one made the game. So I figured, well, I guess maybe I'll make that game, and that was Unavowed.
Yeah, when I started playing it, I get it recommended by a college, and he did some very cool stuff with characters, because you're not related with one, but with many, and not only your character or your party, but all the people living this story of science fiction and merfolks and all kind of stuff. The Chinatown chapter, it seems like goes one way in the beginning and then turns around story-wise to another direction that I didn't see coming. Mm-hmm. With all the dragon paraphernalia, and I really like the idea of the characters have a secondary character, like the one with the spirit one, the child, and how it plays. You didn't do the game that pixel hunting for clues, and are more, like you said, I'm more focused on narrative. Mm-hmm. And puzzles enough to keep one guessing, but the flow goes by the narrative, not the puzzles.
Yeah, I've never been a puzzle guy. Even my earliest games, like the Shiva and the first Blackwell game, never was a puzzle guy. I'm not terribly good at designing them, so I focus on what I'm good at. I know that also it's like a modern audience only gets stuck on a puzzle if they want to, because with Google, you just check Google and you get the answer right away. When I was a kid playing King's Quest III, for example, I spent months trying to defeat that stupid wizard. I would last maybe 5 minutes if I was doing that now. And I know that, and most modern adventure game developers know this. And so they focus more on making the game more immersive and interesting and more, I guess, more fun, making the act of playing the game more pleasurable and engaging. And that's something I try to do within our limited resources. So I want you to like these 4 characters. I want you to feel like they've come together as a team by the end. I want you to have bonded with them. I want you to be invested emotionally in them, while still have a level of engagement with the world. It's like you are the one interacting with them, and by choosing which ones to bring with you, you are choosing which ones to spend time with. And I feel that I noticed this with the BioWare games, like that created, like everyone's got their favorites. And when they react to something that you do, or they react to something in the world, and when they react to something in the world, or react to something that you do, or they just happen to know an NPC or something, it's that the fact that I made that choice just made it feel so rewarding. Like, I chose to bring this person along, and now I get this little extra thing because I made that choice. And I feel that was very rewarding. And it's always said, as an indie developer, you find a bigger game, one small aspect of a much bigger game, and make that your game. And that's what I did with Unavowed. I took the whole, companion party thing from narrative-based RPGs like Dragon Age, and I made that the focus of Unavowed.
And no spoilers here, but in the end, you got a glimpse of possible sequels, and the game has multiple endings, really bad ones, really good ones, and I really care about what is gonna be with Unavowed in the future. You can make a comic book about
that's so cool. That's what I wanted. Like, the fact that, I don't know, I've seen like the fan art and stuff, like, because it's not an action game, but they are kind of action charged characters, and I see lots of Madonna with the sword or whatever, even though she doesn't really do that a lot in the game. That's how people see her, and so I kind of like that people have they connected to these characters in a very special way, and makes me feel good that I was able to make that happen. As for a sequel, I don't know yet. Nothing's designed yet, or even conceived of yet. I'm still recovering. Launch was 8 months ago. I'm still recovering. The game took a long time to do. But we've got other projects in the works that I am not as involved in. We're just publishing them. But in terms of what I'm doing next, we'll see.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you win tonight Yeah, I think you deserve it. It's a really, really good game, and I like the way that you interact with the characters, like you said. With the introduction of the game is brilliant. The introduction, the very first sequence where you don't know who you are, and you are in the rooftop without light, and this character that at first the pyromancer, that I feel like a more aggressive character or so, and then when you know all about his life, his previous life, and then on the Wall Street chapter you know more about him, so it's really, really, really character deep. We're going around with this theme, but it's the theme of the game.
Well, I've always been fond of contradictions in characters, and Eli, he's a nerd, he's a nebbish, he's an accountant, but he's got this really destructive power. He's a fire mage, but he uses it like he can read any book that was consumed by a fire. So here you've got this guy who has this amazingly destructive power, and he uses it to read books, and I kind of adore that. Just these like funny contradictions that I love creating. Eli is pretty much everyone's favorite character. He's the one I have the most personal connection to because he's very close to me personally. But yeah, that's just it. You said you have a connection to these characters. It's because I really like them. I love these 4 characters. So the fact that I like them so much, I was able to bring that across to the folks playing it, because if I'm not feeling it myself, you're not going to feel it. So the fact that I really like these characters means I can make you like them too.
I really like the voice acting too on the game. This is really great, and this brings the character to life, and it binds a connection more stronger with us.
I love working with voice actors. It's something I've done since I started Wajadai. I know a lot of actors. I live in New York, so I can get them. And just over, how long have we been doing this? 13 years? Gosh. 13 years, 16 games. I'm not an expert. I'm not a pro voiceover person, but I've done it enough that I know some things. And I work with some really good actors, and they just nailed the Unavowed characters, all 4 of them. And even they still tell me that they want to do it again. They want to voice those characters again. I hope I can give that to them, because I would love to work with them again.
Please keep doing adventure games for us.
I hope I want to. As long as y'all keep buying them, I will keep making them. And as long as I keep getting nominated,
Esto fue todo con David. Vamos a seguir acá en GDC. Un genio, un juegazo Unavowed. Cómprenlo si no lo hicieron. Lo recomendé 10.000 veces en el podcast. Seguimos con ustedes con más Malditos Nerds, donde sea que nos estén mirando.
Powered by Claro.